Hi there VC, it's Steve Whitty again. Video is being recorded on Christmas Eve, but this is going to be published on Boxing Day. Let me just have a quick slurp of tea. I hope you all had a good Christmas day and you enjoyed yourself. Probably ate too much, probably drank a little bit too much, but as long as you had a good day. Boxing Day for me is just being in PJs and just relaxing. This video is, as I mentioned towards the end of the last video, I had quite a good haul charity shop wise. There seemed to be a fair bit floating around. God knows why. People might have been clearing out just before Christmas. So, without further ado, because I've got quite a lot to show you, in my local Oxfam where I volunteer, there were some classical records which they were looking to get rid of. They hadn't sold, so I said, I'll take for a few pennies. I'll take them off your hand. So show those first. The first one is Beethoven's Eroica, a Berlin Philharmonic, conducted by Herbert von Karajan, I think it is. It came out in 1962. So I was pleased to have that. Deutsche Grammophon. I'm quite happy to take those because there's quality with them. Also picked up this, which is another Beethoven. And this is this is in German. It's a string. I think it's my Streicher Quartet, String Quartet, Opus 29, Quartet in F major, and transcription of Piano Sonata of Opus 14. This one was quite interesting. This is by a composer called Dietrich Buxtehude. So I've never heard the guy, I've never heard his music before, so I'm just going to go blind with that. Classical music, bit of Mozart, and this again another Deutsche Grammophon record. It's Mozart's piano concerto. Don't ask me to pronounce it, my German's not good. Then moving on, this is John Ogden and Tchaikovsky's Piano Concerto No. 1, Frank Symphonic Variations with the Philharmonia Orchestra conducted by Sir John Barbaroli. I believe this came out in 1950s or something like that. On his master's voice. These vinyls are absolutely great, beautiful, Nick. Pleased to pick that up. And then from 1966, this is John Williams. And this is two favourite guitar concertos featuring Rodrigo's Concerto de Aranjuez for guitar and orchestra, and Castelnuovo Tedesco's Concerto in D for guitar and orchestra. A very young-looking John Williams there. And this is on the Blue CBS label. And then finally, in the classical pickups is Virtuosos della Trompeta. I have no clue what it is because it's all in Spanish, I think. So this is going to come as again another blind purchase. So I'm looking forward to a little bit of classical music out of the holiday period. So then moving on to the pop and rock. This is where I think I've done well. Singles, 7-inch singles wise, in great nick. I've got See You by Depeche Mode. This is the first single that Martin Gore had released after Vince Clarke had left. And there were obviously some doubts whether they could carry on without him. This is a double single set. This is Japan's Cantonese Boy from the Tin Drum album. You've got record 1, which features the Cantonese Boy and B-side Burning Bridges. Record 2, you've got A-side's Gentlemen Take Polaroids and The Experience of Swimming. So, more to come from Japan. And I was watching video this morning, the vinyl collector Peaches. He's mentioning his one record he hadn't got in his famous favourite skating songs. It's Joan Jett's I Love Rock and Roll. This is it, the cover is immaculate, considering it's 30 years old. And the vinyl itself, I was pleased to pick up that. Album wise, there's some albums and 12-inch singles I'm going to show you. So a few months back, about a month or so back, I picked up a copy of Eric Clapton's Money and Cigarettes. picked up a much better copy, and it's got the inner as well, so pleased to have that. Talking of Depeche Mode, see you. This is Speak and Spell. Now this is the French copy. This was released on the Vogue label through Mute. This has got New Life, Dreaming of Me. Yeah, Tora Tora Tora. Just Can't Get Enough. You can see how young and fresh faced they looked then, particularly. Yeah, yeah. They're very big in France. This band, obviously, they took their name from a French magazine, Depeche Mode. So pleased to have that. Got a best of, but not very difficult to come by. Marvin Gaye and his Girls. So this is a compilation album which originally came out in 1970, featuring duets with Tammy Terrell, Mary Wells, and Kim Weston. It's got It Takes Two with Kim Weston. It's pretty much sort of like some of the lesser known tracks. I'd say It Takes Two is his best known track. You're All I Need to Get By with Tammy Terrell. So, yeah, that's another one. I'm looking for the Mary Wells. Which tracks I'm not sure. Originally came out in 1970. This is a 1982 reissue, and the reason I know that is because I don't think in 1970 home taping was killing music at that point. As I said, I showed you a Japan double single. There was some more Japan stuff I picked up. This is Quiet Life. This is an original Hansa issue from 1979. Hansa, a German label. On here you've got Quiet Life. Get this back in. Quiet Life. A version of All Tomorrow's Parties. This is when they started to move from the rockier to a more artier convention. You've got David Sylvian up there, back. You've got Mick Karn, God bless him, on the back. And then you've got the rest of the band on the gatefold. So it's rare to find it in the gatefold because most of them are copies with the reissue that came out. They started having hits in 1981, Japan, and this was released to cap it, to sort of like cash in on the assemblage, which is the best of like the Hansa years. They'd moved to Virgin at that point. And you've got here, probably the best known tracks was Quiet Life, which was the original hit single. Their version of A Second Emotion, that was another hit single in 1982. And European Sun. And some of their early stuff like Adolescent Sex, Communist China, Rhodesia. So, yeah. At that point, they became a four-piece. Rob Dean had just left the band when they started becoming successful. So, really pleased to pick that up. And then finally in the Japan section is their 12-inch of Life in Tokyo, the extended remix produced by Giorgio Moroder. Get that out. Yeah, again on the Hansa label, so I was really pleased to pick those up. Time for another quick slurp. And Peebles, I Can't Stand the Rain. Now, it's got that track and I'm going to tell you Playhouse Down. This is a reissue. I think it came out initially in 1974 on the Motown and Hyatt records. I Can't Stand the Rain was the hit single for her. It's covered by Tina Turner, but covered it. Prince is an artist I haven't got much of on vinyl. So when I found 3 12-inches, I was rather pleased with that. You've got Grand Slam, which came out in 1988. Alphabet Street, which came out in 1988 from the Love Sexy album. I think this has been in this plastic cover a bit too long. You might see, I don't know if it's going to affect the quality. You could see where it's imprinted. I've tried cleaning it, it's not great. I've not played it yet, so I'll be sort of curious to see how that plays. Now I can't get the bloody thing back in. And there we go. Picture showed a picture disc of Controversy. I've got a 12-inch picture disc of My Name is Prince. On side 2 you've got Sexy Mother, which was an edit of Sexy MF remix, and Whom It May Concern. Sexy MF it's a song, a song that has memories for me. I did temping work in France about when this came out. We were on the road driving in France, listening to French radio, and he goes, "Ici Garçon, Prince," and it plays, and out comes Sexy Mother, and literally it's his breakfast time, and we just literally almost drove off the road into a ditch on hearing it. A couple of weeks ago, I had brought a copy of History of Otis Redding. I found another version of it. This came out in 1968, same tracks, but on the Blue Atlantic label. So I was really pleased to find that. Diana Ross, I'm Still Waiting, came out in 1971. So this will be put, if it's not her debut solo album, it's certainly one of her early ones. It's got I'm Still Waiting on there. Remember Me. Lot of work done with Ashford and Simpson. They wrote the majority of the songs on this album, produced by Deke Richards, the Black Motown label. Stranglers, really pleased to find this. A copy of Feline came out in 1982. It's got European Female, which probably is this single off the album. Got the vinyl, and then you've got the lyric sheet on there. They've moved from United Artists to Epic at this point. You've got the lyrics, and then you've got, I'll show you that, Are You Being Strangled? Record I thought I'd take a punt on, partly because I knew, well, 3 degrees basically, because I knew when you've got Dirty Old Man and When Will I See You Again, produced by Gamble and Huff. It's on the Philadelphia International Records label. Prince Charles's favourite band became. I won't show the inner cover because actually they were wearing quite revealing dresses. A copy of that, if you go to the disc green version, that poster's hanging on the wall there. Band who I'm aware of, I've seen people mention it, but I've never seen in the wild until yesterday. War, this is All Day Music, the band's 4th album, released in 1971 on United Artists. Eric Burdon had long gone by then, so we interested to listen to that. But then on the War front, I picked up the live album, which originally came out in 73. I think this is a 76 reissue on Island Records. One of them's got the Island blues sleeve in. It is a reissue because the Island, it's on the blue and gold, I'd like to call it. So again, interesting to listen to that. What was it? When looking at the track listing, there's some introductions to the tracks appeared at the end of the side, and then the actual track itself would appear on the next side. So you got Bolero, All Day Long, Slipping Into Darkness, Get Down, Cisco Kid, Lonely Feeling. There's not many tracks on this album. In fact, the sticker's on the other way. So again, interested to listen to that. And the final record that I picked up in the hall, it's Stevie Wonder's The Secret Life of Plants. Now, this was a double live album released in 79, and it's fair to say it flopped. It was a bit of a concept album about life of plants, and I think it just went over people's heads. It's in Braille, which was quite on there ahead. And I learnt something. You got side 1 and side 4, and then the other record, side 2 and side 3, and that was done apparently for the DJs in American radio. So when side 1 was finished, all I had to do was put the side 2 on, which somehow didn't quite work out with me because you've got to switch over the flights to side 3 unless you play a commercial. So that's all the video, that's all the records I purchased. So I'm going to end the video there. This will be the last video of 2017, so you're heading for the New Year's celebrations. Have a good one. If you liked what you've seen, you haven't seen me before, click the subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Love the interaction. I'll always reply to comments. So until the next video, take care, keep spinning into 2018.